Hello, my nerds. How you guys doing today? Alrighty, so I am currently in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, don't you know? No, I like Wisconsin. Wisconsin's pretty cool. Kind of crowded though. Like, it's one of the few states where it always seems like you never leave a city. In all honesty, like, there's very few. It just seems like, despite the whole myth. Well, I mean, it's not a myth, but despite the stereotype of Wisconsin being nothing but dairy farms and whatnot, there's an awful lot of cities, you know. So it's like, it just feels crowded. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Wisconsin. We're here to talk about Trish's book, the book 2 of Circle of Magic Quartet by Tamora Pierce. And apparently, the books are actually being read by Tamora Pierce, which she does not sound how I thought she would. She sounds very different. At least she read the second book. I forget if she narrated the first one. So that's kind of cool. But let's see. So in the second book, they survived the earthquake, and they spun their magics together. So in this one, this one takes place a little bit after that. It's been a few weeks. Life has somewhat returned to normal. They're still kind of helping people out a little bit, but for the most part, children are going back to their regular lessons. And well, needless to say, there is an event that happens. It doesn't kick stuff off, but it is a sign that something is happening. So after the event happens, the next day, Nico and Triss are checking out what happened. I'm not going to go into what happens because, you know, spoilers. But and then Nico teaches them teaches Triss. I always want to say Trish, but it's Triss. Triss how to see magic like he does. Apparently, this is a skill that can be learned, and it's not something that has to do with their magic in particular, or it's just a magical thing that you can do, which is kind of one of the things about this magic system I kind of have a problem with. It seems like it's a loose magic system when you have the magic, you know, like it's very because they're able to kind of do things that it's like, really, that just kind of seems like it's OP, and a lot of this stuff can be like Deus Ex Machina, you know. But so anyway, there ends up, because of the earthquake, you know, obviously after an earthquake things are kind of in disarray. Well, a fleet of pirates decide to appear, and yeah, so that's not good. That's not good. And kind of like in the real world historical texts, I mean, a temple is a great place to, you know, raid, because they usually have money, and because this is because this world has magic, you know, temples obviously are a place where they gather magical items. So it's a great time to raid, you know, especially since obviously an earthquake just happened, so the Duke's Navy is kind of busy elsewhere too. So it's very opportune timing for them to show up and, you know, try to steal things. But, well, there's also an issue. They also kind of bring something new to the table as well. So, it's tied into the event I first talked about. So, I'm not gonna, like I said, not gonna spoil anything. But, yeah. So, needless to say, it's not gonna be as easy as hide behind the walls and, you know, hurl magic fireballs at them. So, there's some issues. And there's also another surprise for Triss. A relative shows up, so she has to deal with that. That brings up a lot of painful memories for her. And then let's see what else happens that's important, because really the whole book is really tied up in the pirate attack. So really kind of. So unfortunately, this might be a shorter review because, like I said, a lot of the book is tied up in the pirate attack. You don't really learn too much about some of the characters, and let's see. But yeah, but anyway, this is still a great quartet. I still love it. I think Triss's book is probably like my least favorite of the four, because at least in the first book you get the sense of, you know, trying to connect with these characters because they're just beginning, and then you know, there's a bunch of stuff that happens, whereas this, a lot of the same stuff kind of happens, you know, so it's kind of a little on the more repetitive side. And you know, but you know, you also kind of figure out just how powerful these kids are, because they do some things that shock the adults, and they learn a few more things about their powers. And but like I said, I'm not a big fan of the some of the magic in this series, because, like I said, it's a lot of Deus Ex Machina. Not particularly a fan of stuff like that. But it is still very much worth a read. I'm currently listening to Dodge's book, which is book 3. Of the four kids, I've always kind of liked Briar. You know, like he's a thief. He's a street kid. You know, he seems much more down to earth than the others. And he loves food. Like, I can always appreciate a man who loves a good meal. But, you know, Dodge is but the other three, I really love how balanced they all are, you know? They all bring something different to the table. Not in terms of power, but also in terms of personality, and in terms of, just... I'm trying to think of the word, but yeah, you know, you guys kind of get what I'm going with, right? Hopefully you do. Hopefully I'm making sense on this. So, kind of a shorter video than usual, but like I said, there's not much I could really say that doesn't give away spoilers, you know? Like, I've already pretty much spoiled that Triss has a relative coming, so it's like, ugh. Which, I don't really feel like this is a spoiler. This is also another thing I don't like about the series. That's also an issue that they never actually resolve with Triss, you know? Because, like, I would really love to have a, like, scene, chapter, or even just, like, a whole book dedicated to Triss rubbing it in her family's face that they had this really powerful weather witch in their family that could have helped out their merchant business, because she comes from a family of merchants, you know, and they have ships. You know, Triss could have, you know, moved storms away from their ships, so that way, or warned them of incoming storms, so that way they can get to a port faster. You know, like they had such an opportunity and they wasted it. I want Triss to, I think it would have been cool. She doesn't do this, but I think it really would have been cool and poetic if she had gone to work for her family's biggest rivals and made her family like lose a whole bunch of money. That would have been just poetic, you know. Parenting in books really kind of has a thing with me. You know, I'll probably talk about it more when I talk about the Five Ancestors series by oh god, what's his name? Something Stone. His last name is Stone. I can't remember what his first name is. But yeah, that one's based on Chinese history. So, but completely different series, no magic whatsoever. But it was still a decent series. Yeah. So obviously, right now I'm trying to pad the runtime. I want to get to that 10-minute mark. I think 10 minutes is a good time. But yeah. So anyway, book 2, Triss's book by Tamora Pierce. Give it a read. It's still good. And then next video I'll talk about Dodge's book if I'm done with it. Outside of that, I really don't have much to say about it, I'm afraid. Like I said, too much of it is tied up in the pirates, and I don't want to give away too many spoilers. So, you guys have fun, be good, like, share, subscribe, you guys know what to do. So yeah, you guys have a good one.